Bodjie Pascua has spent decades in the Philippine entertainment industry, becoming one of the country's most recognizable theater, film, and television actors. Yet, despite his long career in the public eye, he has largely managed to avoid the scandals and personal controversies that often surround celebrities. The controversies associated with Pascua have mostly been connected to his acting roles rather than his personal life. In recent years, audiences were surprised to see the actor, who had become beloved for his gentle and educational persona as Kuya Bodjie, take on a much darker character. In the ABS-CBN primetime action series Blood vs. Duty, Pascua portrayed General Manuel Carrillo, a ruthless villain. His performance was convincing enough to provoke strong reactions from viewers, including online comments directed at the character. For many Filipinos, seeing the man they remembered as the kind-hearted storyteller from Batibot playing a corrupt and dangerous antagonist was an unexpected transformation. The reactions demonstrated just how deeply his earlier television persona had become associated with his real identity in the minds of audiences. Pascua has also occasionally been confused with other public figures who have similar names. Political controversies involving people such as former Isabela Governor Faustino Bodjie D. III and former DepEd Undersecretary Elaine Del Bustamante Pascua can sometimes appear in searches alongside his name. However, these individuals are separate from the actor and should not be confused with him. Beyond these instances, there are no verified public records indicating that Bodjie Pascua has been involved in major personal scandals, financial controversies, or legal disputes. He has generally maintained a private and low-profile personal life throughout his decades in show business. Luisito Bodjie Fernandez Pascua was born on March 2, 1955, in Manila, Philippines. He was adopted into a middle-class family and grew up in Pasay City. His adoptive parents played important roles in shaping his childhood. His father owned a printing press, while his mother operated a dental clinic. Interestingly, both businesses were located in the same building, giving Pascua a childhood environment that combined work, family life, and creativity. His parents were deeply religious and had a strong appreciation for food and cinema. Their interest in movies helped introduce young Bodjie to the world of entertainment. His father even experimented briefly with acting, providing another early connection to performance. During his formative years, Pascua was an only child. Later, however, his parents adopted a younger girl, giving him a sister. His childhood was relatively sheltered. He was introverted and spent much of his time reading, playing alone, and allowing his imagination to wander. One of the most important figures in his early life was his grandfather, whom he affectionately called Tate. His grandfather frequently entertained him with stories, and those storytelling sessions had a lasting influence on him. They encouraged Pascua to become fascinated with narratives, characters, and the different ways people make sense of life. That early love of storytelling would eventually become one of the defining characteristics of his career. Pascua received his primary and secondary education at San Beda College in Manila. It was during his school years that he began performing in plays. His first experiences on the stage introduced him to acting and helped transform what had begun as an interest into a serious passion. While in high school, he was also influenced by workshops conducted by the Philippine Educational Theater Association, commonly known as PETA. These experiences exposed him to theater beyond the classroom and helped him develop a deeper understanding of performance. After completing his secondary education, Pascua traveled to the United States to continue his studies. He initially attended the University of Southern California in Los Angeles, where he spent his freshman and sophomore years studying drama. He later transferred to New York University in New York City for his junior and senior years. There, he completed his studies and earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in drama. While living in New York, he further developed his acting abilities by taking specialized classes at the Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute, an institution famous for its influence on method acting. His formal education and professional training would become the foundation for a career that eventually stretched across theater, television, and film. Although Pascua would later build an impressive career on stage and in film, it was children's television that turned him into a household name. He became widely known as Kuya Bodjie on the beloved educational children's program Batibot. The program became an important part of Filipino childhood during the 1980s and 1990s, and Pascua's presence became one of its most memorable elements. Among his best-known segments was Manga Kwento ni Kuya Bodjie, or Kuya Bodjie's Stories. His theater training proved particularly valuable in the role. Rather than simply reading stories, Pascua brought characters to life through different voices, facial expressions, gestures, and animated physical performances. For generations of Filipino children, he became more than a television host. He became the friendly storyteller who appeared on their screens and introduced them to stories, lessons, imagination, and creativity. The character of Kuya Bodjie became so strongly associated with him that the persona remained part of his public identity long after Batibot ended. His work on the program also earned him recognition at the PMPC Star Awards for Television, where he won Best Children's Program Host in 1987 and 1990. Behind the gentle television personality was a highly trained theater actor. Pascua developed an extensive stage career and performed with major Philippine theater organizations, including Tanghalang Pilipino and PETA. His theater work allowed him to take on roles that were dramatically different from his image as a children's television host. He performed in productions including Hamlet, Cabaret, and 1896, while also appearing in musical productions. Among his notable stage roles was Padre Damaso in a musical adaptation of José Rizal's Noli Me Tangere, with music associated with acclaimed Filipino composer Ryan Cayabyab. His stage performances demonstrated his versatility and established him as a respected figure within Philippine theater. He also received recognition for his theater work. Among his nominations at the PhilStage Gawad Buhay Awards were male featured performance in a play for PETA's Ang Buhay ni Galileo in 2018 and male featured performance in a musical for 3 Stars and a Sun in 2017. As Pascua's career progressed, he successfully moved beyond children's television and established himself as a character actor in mainstream television, independent cinema, and dramatic productions. His filmography includes acclaimed Filipino independent films such as The Blossoming of Maximo Oliveros, also known as Ang Pagdadalaga ni Maximo, as well as Pan de Salawal, Metamorphosis, and Independencia. His ability to disappear into very different characters allowed him to work across a wide range of genres. In television, he frequently portrayed older figures, such as grandfathers, mentors, and authority figures, while also taking on more complicated dramatic characters. He appeared in the Philippine adaptation of It's Okay to Not Be Okay and continued accepting roles in contemporary television and film productions. His later projects have included Quezon, My Future You, and the I Want original film Youngblood. He also took on one of the most unexpected roles of his later career in Blood vs. Duty, where he played the villainous general Manuel Carrillo. The role demonstrated that the actor who had spent years being associated with warmth and children's education could still surprise audiences with darker and more challenging performances. Pascua's decades of work have earned him recognition in both film and television. In 2019, he won Best Actor at the Gawad Tanglao Awards for his performance as Mang Sal in the independent film Pan de Salawal. In 2026, he reportedly received another Best Actor honor at the Cinepew 18 Film Festival, winning in the All Tamaraos division for his role in the short film Ogima. His career has also included several significant nominations. At the Seoul International Drama Awards in 2024, he was nominated for Outstanding Asian Star Philippines for his role in the thriller series Road Killers. In 2025, he received a nomination for Best Supporting Actor at the Pure Gold Cine Panalo Film Festival for his performance in Olsen's Day. These recognitions reflect the breadth of his career. He has succeeded not only as a children's television personality, but also as a serious theater performer and film actor. Away from the cameras, Pascua has maintained a relatively private personal life. He married Filipino filmmaker Avic Ilagan in January 2019 in an intimate civil wedding ceremony. Pascua was 64 years old at the time. Their relationship had begun decades earlier. The two reportedly became best friends during the 1980s, and over the years, their relationship developed into a romantic partnership that was described as on and off before they eventually formalized their marriage. Before getting married, they had spent years living together and maintaining their close relationship. Pascua has also publicly shared that he and his wife do not have children. Despite being a recognizable public figure for decades, he has generally kept details of his private life away from the spotlight. There is no verified public information establishing Bodjie Pascua's exact net worth. Unlike some highly commercialized celebrities, Pascua has not publicly disclosed a detailed list of his assets, properties, or financial holdings. Consequently, online estimates of his wealth should be treated cautiously unless supported by reliable documentation. His long career has nevertheless provided him with several professional sources of income. He has continued working in television and film, including character roles in productions such as Pamilya Sagrado and Blood vs. Duty. He has also remained active in independent cinema and student film projects. Theater and musical productions have represented another important part of his professional life, particularly through organizations such as PETA and Tanghalang Pilipino. In addition, his background in drama and storytelling has allowed him to conduct creative and storytelling workshops, giving him another avenue to share his experience with younger performers. There is also little verified public information about Pascua's real estate holdings, vehicles, or other personal assets. Unlike celebrities who regularly showcase their homes, cars, and lifestyles through interviews and social media, Pascua has generally maintained a low-profile existence. His public identity has remained centered on his work rather than his wealth. Bodjie Pascua's greatest achievement may not be any individual award, but the lasting impression he has made on several generations of Filipinos. For many people, he will forever be Kuya Bodjie, the warm storyteller from Batibot who made stories come alive for children. But limiting his legacy to children's television would overlook the remarkable breadth of his career. He is a formally trained theater actor who studied drama in both California and New York. He became an accomplished stage performer, appearing in major productions and working with respected Philippine theater companies. He established himself as a character actor in both mainstream and independent cinema, and continued taking on challenging roles long after becoming a television icon. Perhaps most remarkably, Pascua demonstrated that an actor does not have to remain trapped by the image that made him famous. The same performer who once entertained Filipino children as the gentle Kuya Bodjie could later step onto a stage as Padre Damaso, appear in acclaimed independent films, and portray a ruthless villain on primetime television. That versatility is ultimately what defines Bodjie Pascua's career. For decades, he has moved between children's television, theater, film, television drama, and creative education without losing the connection he established with Filipino audiences. From the quiet, imaginative child who listened to his grandfather's stories to the actor who eventually spent a lifetime telling stories of his own, Bodjie Pascua has built a career around one enduring passion: the power of storytelling.